Welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. Today, we're going to dive into something that's probably on your mind.
Especially as you're thinking about retirement.
Yeah, exactly. How to safeguard your savings and, make sure your golden years are truly golden.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be exploring gold IRAs
Yes.
and how they might fit into your retirement plan.
Absolutely.
Market swings and inflation can be a real worry.
For sure.
And we're going to kind of unpack all of that.
Yeah.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll have a clearer picture of what a gold IRA is.
Absolutely.
How it works.
Yeah.
And if it's something that could benefit you.
We'll be looking at the mechanics,
Yeah.
the advantages, some common misconceptions,
Yeah.
and even give you some pointers on choosing a provider if you decide a gold IRA is right for you. Speaking
of choosing the right provider, we've put together a free checklist
Oh, great.
to help you navigate that process.
Awesome.
You can download it at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It's a handy resource you won't want to miss. Now, before we jump into the specifics of gold IRAs, let's talk about diversification.
Okay.
I keep hearing that word, especially when it comes to retirement planning. Why is it so important?
Well, think of it this way. Would you put all your eggs in one basket, especially a basket that might be a bit wobbly?
Probably not.
Probably not. Right? Diversification is all about spreading your risk.
Okay.
Instead of relying solely on stocks or bonds, you add different asset classes to your portfolio.
I see.
This way, if one area takes a hit, the others can help cushion the blow.
That makes sense. It's like having a backup plan.
Right.
Or maybe even a few backup plans.
Exactly.
So where do gold IRAs fit into this whole diversification strategy?
Gold has historically been seen as a safe haven asset, meaning it tends to hold its value, sometimes even increase in value during times of economic uncertainty.
Interesting.
It's not directly tied to the stock market, so it can act as a counterbalance to those ups and downs. By adding gold to your retirement portfolio through a gold IRA, you're potentially adding a layer of stability and protection against those market swings that can keep you up at night.
Okay, that's starting to paint a clearer picture for me.
Good.
But let's back up a bit.
Okay.
For someone completely new to this, what is a gold IRA?
Yeah.
Is it just a pile of gold bars stashed away somewhere?
Not quite. It's similar to a traditional IRA, but instead of investing in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you're investing in physical gold.
Okay.
You work with a custodian, which is a financial institution that manages the account, and you can even roll over funds from existing retirement accounts.
Okay.
Like your 401k or traditional IRA to get started.
So it's not just a concept, it's a real tangible asset.
Yes.
That you own as part of your retirement savings.
Exactly.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I've heard some people say that gold is risky or that setting up a gold IRA is a complicated mess. What's the truth behind those claims?
It's important to separate fact from fiction.
Okay.
While gold prices can fluctuate like any investment, its historical performance, especially during times of crisis, suggests it can be a stabilizing force in a portfolio. In fact, during the 2008 financial crisis, while the S&P 500 dropped by 38%, gold actually saw an increase in value of around 4%.
Wow.
That's a pretty stark contrast.
Yeah.
And as for the complexity of setting up a gold IRA, it's really not as daunting as it might seem.
Okay.
With the right provider, the process is fairly straightforward. It does require some research and due diligence, of course, but that's where our free checklist comes in handy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You mentioned choosing the right provider. That sounds like a crucial step.
It is.
What should people be looking for when making that decision?
You're absolutely right. It's essential to work with a reputable and experienced provider. Look for companies with a proven track record, transparent fee structures, secure storage options, and excellent customer support.
Okay.
You want to feel confident and comfortable with the company handling your precious metals.
Okay, so reputation, transparency, security, and good customer service.
Yeah.
Those are all great points to keep in mind. I'm already feeling a bit more informed, and I'm sure our listeners are too. But we've only scratched the surface, haven't we?
We have. There's much more to uncover about the benefits and nuances of gold IRAs.
Well, I can't wait to dive deeper. We'll be back after a quick break to explore those benefits in detail, so stay tuned. And remember, if you're looking for more guidance on choosing the right gold IRA company, visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive for our free checklist. It's packed with valuable tips and insights. We'll be back soon.
Sounds good. Welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. Before we delve deeper into the benefits of a gold IRA, I think it's helpful to understand why gold has been considered a safe haven asset for centuries.
You're right. Placing it in a historical context can help us grasp its value proposition better.
Hmm.
Where do we even begin?
Well,
Gold's been around for, well, practically forever.
it has. And that's what makes it so fascinating. Gold has been a store of value for millennia. Civilizations have come and gone, currencies have fluctuated wildly, yet gold has consistently held its value.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It truly is the ultimate survivor in the world of finance.
I think so.
What gives it this enduring appeal and value?
Well, several factors contribute to gold's enduring value. First, it's scarce. It's a finite resource, which means there's a limited supply, and that scarcity inherently contributes to its value.
Basic economics 101. Supply and demand. The less there is of something, the more valuable it becomes.
Exactly. But scarcity is only part of the story. Gold is also incredibly durable. It doesn't corrode or tarnish, so it can last for a very, very long time. Think about those ancient gold artifacts we see in museums. They're still as impressive as the day they were made.
It's mind-boggling to think about something created thousands of years ago that still holds its beauty and value today. That's a powerful testament to gold's enduring qualities.
It really is. And there's another aspect to gold that I find fascinating. It's universally recognized and accepted. No matter where you go in the world, gold is seen as a valuable asset. It transcends geographical borders and cultural differences.
So it's like a global currency, even though it's not officially recognized as such. You can always rely on its value no matter where you are in the world.
Yes, you could put it that way. It's a form of wealth that's universally understood.
This makes me understand why people view gold as a safe haven asset. It's like a financial anchor in a storm.
That's a perfect analogy. During times of economic or political upheaval, investors often turn to gold as a way to protect their wealth. It's seen as a stable and reliable asset that can weather the storm.
Can you give us some historical examples of how gold has performed during past crises?
Of course. Let's look at the 2008 financial crisis as an example. When the stock market plummeted and the global economy was in a free fall, gold actually increased in value. Investors seeking a safe haven flocked to gold, pushing its price upward.
So while most assets were panicking, gold remained steady and even increased in value. That's pretty impressive.
It is. And we see similar patterns in other periods of uncertainty, whether it's wartime geopolitical tensions or even just runaway inflation. Gold tends to hold its own or even outperform other assets.
It's fascinating how gold seems to have an inverse relationship with fear and uncertainty. The more fear in the market, the more appealing gold becomes.
You've got it. It's a great observation. And this historical track record is precisely why gold is often considered a hedge against inflation. When the value of paper money declines, as is happening now, gold tends to rise, helping preserve your purchasing power. Take Susan, for example, a retiree we mentioned earlier. She was concerned about inflation eroding her savings, so she decided to move a portion of her nest egg into a gold IRA. When inflation surged in 2022, the value of her gold investment remained stable, giving her peace of mind.
That's a great example. Her experience illustrates how gold can offer a sense of security, especially during these turbulent times. But could we talk more about the tangible benefits of a gold IRA, especially for retirees?
Absolutely. We've touched upon protection against inflation and hedging against market volatility, but it's also important to understand the tax advantages. A gold IRA offers the same tax benefits as a traditional IRA, allowing for tax-deferred growth. Essentially, you won't pay taxes on those earnings until retirement, enabling your investments to grow more efficiently over time.
Tax-deferred growth. I'm not sure I fully grasped that. Could you elaborate for our listeners who might be unfamiliar with that term?
Of course. It means that you are not taxed on the gains in your account as they occur. Instead, the taxes are deferred until you withdraw the money in retirement. The benefit here is that this untaxed money continues to grow and compound over time, which can significantly increase your nest egg in the long run.
Okay, that makes sense. Deferring the tax burden allows for potentially greater growth over the long term. And let's not forget the psychological aspect of owning a tangible asset. I imagine it brings a feeling of security knowing that a portion of your retirement savings is backed by something real and valuable.
You're absolutely right. The feeling of control and security can be incredibly valuable, especially in retirement when you're relying on your savings.
This conversation has been incredibly insightful. We've delved into the history of gold, its enduring value, and the benefits of owning it through a gold IRA. Are there any other key points about gold IRAs our listeners should know?
Yes, definitely. One common question we receive is about the minimum investment required for a gold IRA. While it varies depending on the provider, it's usually between $5,000 and $10,000 to get started.
That's helpful to know.
Yeah.
And where is the gold actually stored? I'm imagining a vault filled with gold bars. Can you just keep it at home?
I understand the image, but unfortunately, you can't store it at home. For security and regulatory reasons, gold held in a gold IRA must be stored in an IRS-approved depository. These are specialized facilities that are highly secure and meet stringent IRS guidelines.
Ah, so it's not like keeping a few gold coins in a safe deposit box.
Not exactly. It's a much more specialized and secure process designed for this type of investment.
Okay, that makes sense. We've covered the minimum investment and storage. But how is the value of the gold in a gold IRA determined? Is it like checking the stock prices every day?
It's tied to the market price of gold, which can fluctuate based on supply and demand just like any other commodity. So the value of your gold holdings will rise and fall with market trends.
That makes sense. It behaves like any other investment, with its own market dynamics. Can you take physical possession of the gold from your gold IRA? For example, if I wanted to make some gold jewelry.
It's a good question, and the short answer is yes, but with some important caveats. While you can have the gold distributed to you, it generally triggers taxes and penalties. It's best to discuss these implications with a financial advisor.
Okay, so taking physical possession is possible, but might not be the most financially savvy move. It's definitely something to consider carefully and probably consult a financial advisor about.
Absolutely. Consulting with a professional who understands the nuances of gold IRAs and the tax implications is always a wise move.
This brings us back to choosing the right provider. It's not just about the gold itself. It's also about the company managing your investment. For our listeners who are ready to take the next step and learn more, we've prepared that free checklist to guide you through choosing the right gold IRA company. It's available for download at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
It's a valuable resource that can help you ask the right questions and make informed decisions.
Before we wrap up, what's one key takeaway our listeners should remember about gold IRAs?
It's about adding a layer of stability and diversification to your retirement portfolio. A gold IRA allows you to own a tangible asset that has historically held its value even during times of economic uncertainty. It's a way to potentially protect your savings from the erosive effects of inflation and the volatility of the stock market.
And all of that can lead to greater peace of mind during your retirement years. We'll be right back after a short message. Welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. We've been kind of exploring the potential benefits of gold IRAs for securing a comfortable and stable retirement.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, from the mechanics of how a gold IRA works to, the historical significance of gold as a safe haven asset.
It's been quite a journey. We've delved into the reasons behind gold's enduring value and why it might be an attractive option for those seeking to diversify their retirement portfolio and protect their hard-earned savings.
Absolutely. I think it's crucial for our listeners to understand the bigger picture here.
Okay.
A gold IRA isn't about, chasing quick profits or timing the market.
Right.
It's about building a resilient financial foundation that can withstand economic storms and help you navigate the uncertainties that often come with retirement.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's about that sense of security and peace of mind, knowing that a portion of your savings is anchored to a tangible asset with a proven track record of resilience.
Exactly. And while we've emphasized the positive aspects, it's also important to acknowledge that gold, like any investment, has its limitations.
Sure.
For example, gold doesn't generate income like dividends from stocks or interest from bonds.
That's a good point. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme or a magic bullet.
Right.
It's a strategic component of a well-diversified portfolio.
Exactly. And it's crucial to remember that investing in gold, even through a gold IRA, does involve certain risks. Gold prices can be volatile in the short term, and there's always the possibility of market fluctuations.
That's why it's so important to do your research. Choose a reputable provider, and make sure you're comfortable with the level of risk involved. This is where our free checklist can be an invaluable resource for you. It walks you through the key considerations when choosing a gold IRA company. You can download it at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
Absolutely. Don't rush into any decisions. Take your time, ask questions, compare providers, and make an informed choice that aligns with your financial goals and risk tolerance.
Speaking of informed choices, before we wrap up this episode, I'd love to hear your final thoughts. What's something you'd like our listeners to reflect on as they consider their retirement plans?
Well, I encourage everyone listening to explore historical gold price trends, especially during past recessions.
Okay.
Compare those trends to the performance of the stock market during those same periods. What patterns do you notice? Does gold's performance during times of economic turmoil reinforce its reputation as a safe haven asset?
That's a powerful suggestion. It's about empowering yourselves with knowledge, understanding the historical context, and making informed decisions based on evidence and research.
Exactly. It's about taking control of your financial future and creating a retirement plan that provides both security and peace of mind.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into gold IRAs. We hope it's given you a clearer understanding of what a gold IRA is, how it works, and whether it might be a suitable addition to your retirement strategy.
It's been a pleasure.
And for all our listeners, if you'd like to continue your gold IRA journey, don't forget to grab that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It's packed with helpful tips to guide you in choosing the right gold IRA company. Until next time, we wish you all a secure and prosperous